To the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Harford County. I'm Reverend J. Brooks. My pronouns are she and her. Leading the service with me today, our worship associate Valerie Green, our music director Brenna Kupferman at the piano, and special guest musician Buzz Loftus.
Good morning. I'm going to add some welcome to Reverend Jay's welcome. It's so great to see all of you here today. I see some new faces, people I haven't met before. You are certainly welcome. Now, if it is your first time here, you may be wondering, what's going on? Does this congregation have a heavy cloud hanging over their head? Well, last night we had this fabulous event celebrating April showers and May flowers and the generosity of this community. We had a fundraiser last night, and it was a blast, and these are the decorations left over from that. So just to ease your mind about what's going on here. This building is where we gather today, is situated on the native lands of the Susquehannock people. As a community, we hope to promote greater understanding of the indigenous people's concerns and rights.
Whatever faiths you have known, if any, you are welcome here. Whatever your race or where you were born, whatever your gender, you are welcome here. Whoever you are and whomever you love, you are welcome here.
Unitarian Universalism is a religious tradition that values diversity and embraces the wisdom of all faiths. We use science, reason, and the gifts of the Spirit to explore life's mystery and meaning.
We gather in community to restore the balance of our spirits, to celebrate the joys of life and find the strength to meet our sorrows, and in the earliest meaning of the word worship, to consider ideas that are worthy of our time and attention.
In this tradition, we know that people need not think alike to love alike.
During the month of April, our learning and worship theme is joy. This year, April 20th marks the end of Passover in the Jewish tradition and is Easter Sunday in the Christian tradition. So today we consider the joy of souls opening to the light as slaves are set free and the stone rolls away from the tomb. May the sound of the bell and the music of the prelude center us as we enter into a time of worship.
Thank you, Buzz. That was lovely. Each Sunday, we light the chalice of our religious heritage. We do this for our ancestors who taught us through their various religious traditions and by their actions for justice and hope. We do this for our children who are learning the traditions we teach and who learn more from our actions than our words. Oh, sorry. Hit the wrong button. And I know we do this for ourselves. I know that part. Oh, I don't have to read this. We do this for ourselves, though, so that we are inspired to remember our beginnings and reflect on who we are now and spread our wings as we understand who we seek to become.
Our call to worship today is by Khalil Gibran from the Prophet. The hidden wellspring of your soul must needs rise and run murmuring to the sea, and the treasure of your infinite depths would be revealed to your eyes. But let there be no scales to weigh your unknown treasure, and seek not the depths of your knowledge with staff or sounding line. For self is a sea boundless and measureless. Say not, I have found the truth, but rather, I have found a truth. Say not, I have found the path of the soul. Say rather, I have met the soul walking upon my path. For the soul walks upon all paths. The soul walks not upon a line, neither does it grow like a reed. The soul unfolds itself like a lotus of countless petals. And now please rise or remain seated as is comfortable for you as we sing together hymn number 29, Joyful, Joyful. Now, the words that will appear on the screen are slightly different from the words in the hymnal. And if you need the hymnal to follow the music, just sing those words, that's fine. But there are new words, different words, slightly different words on the screen.
Joyful, joyful, we embrace life with its stars shine with its love. Hearts unfold like flowers in springtime, opening to the sun above. Melt the clouds of strife and sadness, drive despair's dark doubt away. Life that thrills our hearts with gladness, fill us with the light of day. Living things with joy surround us, earth and sky support our days. Stars and planets sing around us, joining in unbroken praise. Field and forest, vale and mountain, blossoming meadow, flashing sea. Chanting bird and flowing fountain, call us to live joyfully. Love is giving and forgiving, ever blessing, ever blessed. Wellspring of the joy of living, ocean depth of happy rest. Ever singing, march we onward, victors in the midst of strife. Joyful music lifts us sunward in the triumph song of life.
Now, in this story for all ages, The Donkey's Tale, we have two characters. The donkey,
Meh.
and I want to make it clear, we argued over who would get to be the donkey. The donkey and the man.
I liked the man right away. He scratched my ears, and he spoke in a kind voice. He didn't smoke, he spoke.
This little donkey is nice, but I really don't need to ride into Jerusalem. I can walk.
Imagine a human who did not want to burden me.
Why are all these people gathered here by the gate? Not for me.
He was wrong. They were all there to greet him, and most of them were waving palm branches. Tasty palm branches. I tried to catch one in my teeth, but the wind moved it back out of my reach.
I am not a hero. I'm not a king. This is too much.
He was right about that. The whole crowd was shouting and cheering. They lifted the palm branches up. It was like a palm forest.
I appreciate the thought, but I'd be happier entering Jerusalem quietly.
I believed him. He seemed like a good person who took no pride in false praise. I decided that I'd be honored to carry him, and I nudged his hand with my nose.
Oh, so you think I should ride you? I'm honored. You're very kind.
The man leaned forward and whispered in my ear.
You know, they'll forget about me in less than a week, don't you? This kind of enthusiasm never lasts.
He was right about that, too. People can be fickle. Kind one day, cruel the next. A donkey sees it all the time. Not this man. I could tell he was always kind. I nudged his hand again and made a friendly noise.
Thank you.
Meow.
Thank you, little donkey. I don't see how I can turn down that invitation, but only because it's you asking.
So he got on, and I carried him through the crowd. It took a long time. We were both patient. And when he got off, he gave me a palm branch. Yum.
Thank you, little donkey.
Each Sunday, we invite those who gather here to support the mission of this congregation by offering a financial contribution.
With love at the center, we care for one another and extend that care into the wider community through actions for equity and justice, which, no matter how small, work toward the transformation of our world.
This fellowship intentionally welcomes the pluralism of theological beliefs as members seek to learn and grow, acknowledging our interdependence as we help each other toward a deeper understanding.
Financial contributions allow this congregation to reach out to all who seek a life-affirming message of love and hope.
If you're online, click the link in the Zoom chat to contribute. If you're on site, you may place a donation in the basket or use your device to find the donate link at the bottom of the page on the uufhc.net.
Whatever method of giving you choose, your generosity helps to grow a healthier, more joyful Unitarian Universalist community, and in keeping with our religious heritage, to draw the circle of love and justice a little bit wider. One of our children had asked that we use Easter baskets to collect the donations this morning, and so we did. In this worship service that invites us to lean even more strongly into our mission as Unitarian Universalists, we renew our commitment as a community to respond out of care for one another. Now is the time to briefly share a joy, a sorrow, a gratitude, something you carry deeply within you this morning. If you're on site in the sanctuary, please come to the front and speak into the microphone, or raise your hand and have a microphone brought to you. If you're on Zoom, put in the chat the message that you'd like to share, and Brenna will read it. Valerie will light a candle for each sharing. A few gentle reminders. This isn't a time for announcements or politics, please. Say your first name, share from your heart and from only your own experience. Be mindful not to share anyone else's experience unless you have their express permission to do so. As people share, let's listen without applause as we hold one another in the fullness of our community. And before we open the time of sharing, let's have a moment. We will light a final candle to symbolize the longing and hope of people everywhere.
This is a poem by Jay Brooks. A bush is green in the spring and summer, fruitful with blossoms when the sun is hot. Or not, as the bush is, some disdaining flowers, others fragrant with them and thick with berries, each variety knowing its own way. A gardener chooses some that bloom or bear fruit to delight the human eye or the tongue. But when winter's end draws near, and I am gloomy with brown, dry sticks and hard ground, then how I long for green, green, spring's shy, pale pastel green, and summer's bold, glossy green. A bush is green.
It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes I find myself somewhere with nothing to do. A few weeks ago, I was in a state park in Pennsylvania. It was quiet, so quiet. The sun had just come out from the clouds. I sat on a bench and looked up, closing my eyes as I felt the sun on my face. It was peaceful. I was still for a long time, soaking in the peacefulness. It was a time of pure being, serene and whole, as all worldly concerns fell away. I was simply present, opening to the light. Perhaps most people have experienced these moments of serenity, of peacefulness, when the magic of life seems real. I may have a genetic tendency to be still in the sunlight, in the woods. You see, my father loved to go out into the woods. Often these outings were technically hunting trips, but his family members were fairly sure that what impelled him was the simple longing to be among the trees. One day, he came back marveling at an experience he'd had. He'd entered the woods on a warm day. Soon he reached a sunny glade that he thought was the perfect place for a little rest. He lay down in the sunlight, and soon he was asleep. Dad awoke to an awareness of impending beauty. That's how he described it. Impending beauty, even before he opened his eyes. He lifted his eyelids partway, and he saw a fawn cautiously approaching. Nearer and nearer it came until it touched its nose to his. There was a moment of utter stillness, as if time itself had paused. Then the fawn moved away into the trees. For some time after, my father lay in the glade, in the sun, wrapped in his encounter with the marvelous. That's a true story. There's another true story about a California man who loved to garden. He was in his 90s, and he could feel himself slowing down a little. One sunny morning, he decided he was feeling a bit tired, and so he would just lie down for a bit among the flowers. A neighbor who lived on a hill about 2 blocks away happened to look out the window, and he saw the elderly man stretched out on his back. He went racing out of his house, down the street, and anxiously awoke the napping gardener. "Are you all right?" Relieved to hear that all was well, the neighbor then accepted the elderly man's invitation to see how peaceful it was to lie down on the grass. As the sunlight streamed down, the neighbor relaxed and recalled his childhood. He said, "I used to lie down on the grass all the time and look up. I had forgotten how beautiful the sky is." There is something in us human beings that craves the light. Not merely the sun, but the sensation of being bathed in light. It evokes a sense of safety, of serenity, of well-being. Pausing to lie down on a sunny day, or to sit at the edge of a dock and watch the sunlight play on the water, or to lean from a window and drink in the sunshine are simple ways we soothe and bless ourselves. Human beings are like most other living things on earth. We respond to sunlight. Plants, flowers, trees all soak up the sun and open to the light. This is life. It's a turning and opening that changes everything, like spring. Whatever our losses, whatever drought and dullness we suffer in the winter of our discontent, beneath the surface of our lives, of our hearts, there is always life inviting us to notice and respond. I've never forgotten that March in Minnesota when everything I saw out my window was all brown and dry sticks. The forsythia in particular seemed completely dead. It could not be alive or in any way connected to the earth or to me. And yet, the next day, it was covered with buds. How is it possible? It is life. Human beings are like that forsythia. We're rooted in the earth. We long for warmth and sunlight and spring rain. Even when we feel dry and dead, somehow we can open to the light and awaken again to life. But that is only the beginning of what opening to the light means to the human spirit. Easter brings with it a symbolic opening to the light. In the Gospel of Mark, the followers of Jesus rise early to bring flowers to the cave where his body had been laid. They are startled to see the big stone that had been sealing the entrance is no longer there. It has been rolled away. The dark cave is now open to the light. Mark's version of the Easter story is especially meaningful to me because it ends there with the open tomb. Now, later versions of the story in Mark and the other Gospels add to this original ending, apparently to clarify for readers that Jesus has risen. But Mark, the earliest of the four gospel writers, leaves us with the question, that empty tomb, what does it mean? An early Christian writing that's probably older than Mark is the Gospel of Thomas. It's not in the Christian Bible, but it was known to the first Christians and frequently read even after being omitted from the New Testament. The Gospel of Thomas offers us a Jesus who tells people to develop a state of spiritual awareness, an illumination of who they truly are, who God hopes for them to be. To the Jesus of Thomas, the very notion of the kingdom of God refers to the primordial energy called into being when God first declared, "Let there be light." According to the scholar Elaine Pagels, this light isn't ordinary light like that of the sun or the moon. Instead, light is a metaphor for the divine energy that brings forth everything that exists. Thomas offers these words of Jesus. There is light within a person of light, and he lights up the whole world. If the person does not shine, everything is dark. Consider, the empty tomb, that cave of darkness, which on Easter morning is found open to the light. This is a metaphor. Each of us, each human being, has the capacity to be a sealed tomb where everything is dark, or to be open to the light, shining with enough light to light up the whole world. I'm not saying that anything anyone here believes about Easter is incorrect. I'm focusing on this message from one of the earliest written Gospels, the Gospel of Thomas. And the Jesus of the Gospel of Thomas says, if they ask, "Who are you?" say, "We are children of the light." This encouragement to shine in an otherwise dark world is completely unrestrictive. It's advice for everyone. It's a spiritual possibility, even a promise that isn't meant only for the Jews who were the original followers of Jesus, or only for those who centuries later were called Christians, or only for evangelizing Christians of the 21st century. In Thomas, the old non-canonical gospel, and in Mark, the earliest canonical gospel, the message is for everyone. Let your light shine, your spiritual light, and you will make the world a better place. Spiritual light isn't about hell or heaven. It's about becoming the best possible human being. This week I was pondering these ideas as I drove to a meeting of the Harford County Interfaith Clergy. It was a long drive, so I had time to ask myself questions. What does opening to the light really mean? How do we let our spiritual light shine? What is the central meaning of Easter? I was completely amazed, but perhaps not surprised, when the African Methodist Episcopal minister among us volunteered, before I even asked the question, that the central meaning of Easter is to shine our light. By that, my colleague meant to treat others with empathy and compassion, to be kind to all, to live with the conviction that every human being is fully human. No one is throwaway. Everyone matters. In these days of turmoil, there is no message more vital or more urgent. No one is throwaway. Everyone matters. We must find that inner spiritual light, let it shine, and roll away every stone. What does this have to do with the donkey? Well, I learned something else this week. The donkey who carried Jesus into Jerusalem was supposedly a donkey that had never carried anyone before. So it could have been a mean donkey, an irascible donkey, a donkey cantankerous and unfriendly. But the donkey in the story we heard was willing to carry Jesus because Jesus was considerate, kind, ready to consider the donkey's needs, and the donkey in turn offered to help. Never before had I appreciated how much the gentle interaction of donkey and Messiah illustrates the idea of spiritual light. The story I now see is a lesson in how to treat one another. Once I began thinking along these lines, some other things became vividly apparent. The man who hurried over to his elderly neighbor lying on the grass, he was shining with spiritual light. The old man who urged his would-be rescuer to pause and soak up the sun, he was shining with light. Even my father's experience with the fawn in the woods was a moment of spiritual companionship. They met each other as equals, calm and curious. When we open to the light, when we notice the flowers, nap in the sunshine, commune sweetly with others, we change the world. The light is always available to us. It's our heritage as human beings. And yes, there are many humans who choose darkness as if the only way to power is darkness, as if only power matters. The central message of Easter is to choose light. It's up to us to shine spiritual light wherever we go and despite what evil we encounter. We can carry light with us, within us, and around us so that our words and deeds flow from spiritual light, no matter what anyone else may do. May each of us open to the light so that our spirits flourish and the earth awakes again. Which invites us into our closing hymn, number 61, Lo, the Earth Awakes Again. Please rise or remain seated as is comfortable for you.
Lo, the earth awakes again. Hallelujah. From the winter's bond and pain. Hallelujah. Bring relief and flower and spring. Hallelujah. To adorn this happy day. Once again the word comes true, hallelujah, and the earth shall be made new, hallelujah. Now the dark old days are hallelujah, to adorn this happy morn, change then mourning into praise, hallelujah, and dirges anthems raise, hallelujah. Now our spirits soar and sing, hallelujah. Our hearts leap in the spring, hallelujah.
We close with a traditional Irish blessing. May the blessing of light be on you, light without and light within. May the blessed sun shine on you and warm your heart till it glows like a great peat fire, so that the stranger may come and warm himself at it. Amen and blessed be. And now, as Valerie extinguishes the chalice, let's all say the chalice extinguishing words that are printed in the order of service. Now we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into all the world. I am so grateful that Buzz was able to join us today. Thank you so much. It's just beautiful. And now, before you start to move for coffee and conversation, a few announcements. First, I think Kim has a word or two about the auction that was yesterday.
We had a wonderful time at the auction. I'm sorry if you couldn't be here, and we raised about $17,000. The final part of the auction, though, was our mystery auction, and as you all know, we recently lost our beloved Olivia, and her family donated something for us to auction off, and we decided rather than have that painting go home to someone else's house that we'd keep it here. So we all chipped in, and here it is. The Raven's Prophecy.
Kim, before you go, could you go back to the microphone? Could Ed come up, please? Ed?
You're on the spot, Ed.
While he's coming up, I have a question. I've had this question for Kim for the 7 years I've been coming here. Why do we call it the serendipity auction?
I don't know. Maybe because things happen serendipitously.
It doesn't happen serendipitously. That's the whole story. There's nothing about this auction that is serendipity. You work so hard, and Ed works so hard to put this together. This year we had an extra task for Kim. She had to deal with the health department. She was in there cleaning that kitchen like no other.
And they didn't come and inspect after all.
I just want you to know that it is not serendipitous.
Although
Kim
there's
puts
often room
so-
for serendipity in all.
Serendipity, yeah, okay. But Kim and Ed just put themselves out there so much, and I want you to know how much we appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Aw. Thank you.
And no, as we know, there's no one or two people who can do everything, and the many volunteers who help make that auction work also have our full esteem and gratitude.
Can I say just one other thing about the decorations? We have a photo booth set up back here for last night. It was a bunch of fun. We've got some props. If you want to come, if you weren't here, you want to take some pictures underneath of it, that would just be great. After the egg hunt this afternoon, if you see a flower that you would like to take home, anybody can come up, ask me, and I'll take it down for you. Also, the umbrellas, if anybody thinks they ever have a need for an umbrella, maybe during the dry season when we're going to do a rain dance or something, anybody can take these. That one is spoken for back there. That's all.
And there is an egg hunt. It is actually going to be an egg hunt. Is Erin here? She's outside still. She's outside preparing for the egg hunt. Ah, there she is. Erin, should children and the young at heart who wish to hunt eggs join you? In the lobby. Join Erin in the lobby for the egg hunt. And now I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Sorry, you have one more thing?
Mark and Shauna.
Oh, Mark and Shauna, yes, sorry. Mark and Shauna want to give us an update on our pledge drive, which also just wrapped up.
And while they're coming up, I just wanted to make an announcement about the Membership Engagement Committee. We'll have a meeting next Sunday after the service, and we will have some munchies and things for you to eat so you can make it home to lunch. So that's next Sunday.
Wonderful. It is working great. So just wanted to share the joyous news with you all that for the first time in several years, we are actually able to make our budget projection this year with our pledge drive. So appreciate everybody getting your pledges in and being responsive to my outreach. And so I'm very pleased with what everybody put forth themselves this year to try and really make us whole.
Yeah, and I just want to thank, again, echo what you said and thank everybody that was supporting the stewardship, everybody that volunteered. Thank you for all your efforts, and it's great to be in this position. Thank you.
Yes, thank you all. Thank you all.